So the WBC have finally done what they should have done several months ago, which is to cancel the final eliminator between Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz. In fact, they should have ordered a purse bid several months ago. But since they weren't willing to do that, this is the next best thing. Cancel the fight altogether. Now, before we get too happy here, the WBC are still on some BS because they have no intention of organizing a new final eliminator with two different fighters until at least November. And this, of course, gives Tyson Fury carte blanche to carry on cherry-picking easy fights. I mean, in the case of Francis Ngannou, against someone who's never had a fight before, and prior to that, Derek Chisora in a trilogy fight. I mean, this is ridiculous stuff going on here with the WBC with Tyson Fury. I mean, again, let's have a look at Tyson Fury's record. So, he hasn't had a mandatory challenger since April last year. So by the time he actually fights another mandatory, it's going to be at least April next year, right? If the WBC are not ordering a new final eliminator until November, then normally you have a month for the two sides to negotiate. And then after the negotiation process, if they can't come to an agreement, you have a purse bid. And after the purse bid, they're usually given something like 90 days to fight each other. So realistically, it's going to be at least March, April or something like that before Tyson Fury has another mandatory challenger. So he'll have not fought a mandatory in 2 years. People, this is ridiculous. And look, it's not just Tyson Fury that gets carte blanche from the WBC. Canelo Alvarez gets carte blanche. Obviously, Jamal Charlo is getting carte blanche. The WBC literally is the witness protection program for their favorite fighters. They allow them to cherry pick and do whatever they want. This is why Floyd Mayweather favored the WBC. A lot of people don't realize this or don't acknowledge this. Mayweather kept hold of the WBC belt above all other belts because they allow you to have carte blanche. They don't impose mandatories on you as frequently as some of the other sanctioning bodies. You know, they're much more lenient when it comes to inactivity of a champion, as we've seen with Charlo, as we saw back in the day with Vitaly Klitschko. And with Tyson Fury, I mean, he's relatively inactive. He's not like as inactive as Charlo or Klitschko was back in the days. But the problem is, he's cherry-picking these easy fights. I mean, the trilogy with Chisora was absolutely shameful. And now the fight with Francis Ngannou, after claiming that nobody wants to fight him. I mean, what a crock of absolute rubbish. Nobody wants to fight him. What happened to Frank Sanchez? He called you out, Tyson Fury. He was ready and willing to step in at a moment's notice. Same with Martin Bakole. All you have to do is go down the WBC rankings and see who's available. Look, Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder, if they're not available, if Anthony Joshua's not available, there's Arslanbek Makhmudov and Frank Sanchez that Tyson Fury could have fought. There's Martin Bakole at number 8, who Tyson Fury could have fought. Let's not pretend there are no challengers out there for Tyson Fury. People that have actually boxed. In many cases, people that are unbeaten, people that are fresh. All Frank Warren and Tyson Fury want to do is get everyone to focus on Anthony Joshua and the fact that he don't want to fight Tyson Fury. So what if Anthony Joshua don't want to fight? He's not the only challenger in the world. I mean, the man's afraid of his own shadow at this point. Look at his performance against Robert Helenius. If he don't want to fight, there are plenty of other challengers who do want to fight. So don't try and use AJ as the excuse, as if he's the only challenger in the world. Nonsense. Now, when it comes to the next final eliminator, I don't want to see Deontay Wilder involved in it. Some people have suggested that if the Anthony Joshua-Deontay Wilder fight gets made, that could be a final eliminator for the WBC. I think that would be terrible. Again, Deontay Wilder shouldn't be anywhere near the number 1 position. Based on what? Beating Helenius? He's won 1 fight in like the past 3 years, Deontay Wilder, and somehow he's in the number 1 position with the WBC. That's outrageous. Andy Ruiz should be ranked above Deontay Wilder. Let's be real. In fact, I don't think Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua should be in the top 5 with the WBC. So I absolutely do not support or agree with a Joshua Wilder fight being a final eliminator for Tyson Fury. Not at all. Ultimately, we don't know who is to blame for the final eliminator between Wilder and Ruiz not happening. Was it Wilder? Was it Ruiz? I suspect it was Wilder, but since it's an internal PBC issue, it's difficult to be sure. So the next final eliminator needs to involve Arslanbek Makhmudov or Frank Sanchez, or both of them. Maybe match them against each other. Something else I might accept is Makhmudov against Ruiz, Sanchez against Ruiz. That's what we should get. And this should be happening right away. Why are we waiting until November for? Let's get it on right away. Honestly, the WBC are just the biggest joke. The witness protection program is what they are. Unbelievable. Let me know what you guys think about this farce in the comment section below.